Hey babes, let's get right to it, shall we? By now, most of us have probably seen a lot of this Nicki and Megan back and forth. Not even back and forth, but the Nicki and Megan situation. And it has stirred up some thoughts, some reflections on my part. So, the most significant thing that's coming to mind is the reason why I emphasize that it is so important to have a sense of self, at least a strong sense of self, or be building a foundation of self-love before you get into a serious DS dynamic. Walk with me here. The Barbs. And I'm not talking about just any old Nicki fan. I mean the Nicki stans, okay? Those Barbs. Imagine if they were in a DS dynamic with Nicki. They'll do anything that the queen says. They think that she's always right no matter what she does. They lose all sense of discernment, all sense of their own character, and they worship the ground that she walks on. Now, as the queer agenda has pointed out, there is a difference between a stan and a fan, right? A fan has a sense of self. They have a sense of self. They're able to put down boundaries. They're able to respect boundaries. They're able to have a sense of discernment to know when the people that they idolize or the people that they are fans of are doing things that are not right, that are not morally sound, that is straight up bullying or just evil doing. A stan does not seem to have that sense of self. They don't have a stable core to work from. And that's what happens when you don't work on your own foundation, your sense of self. It's the same in any DS dynamic. You are consenting to give your power away as the S-type, right? But if you have no foundation of a sense of self, you run the risk of losing yourself to the D-type, to the dominant energy. Because at that point, you are an empty vessel that can be filled with anything. And that's not what you want. A power exchange is when your cup is poured into and they pour right back into you. If you are not pouring into each other, there's no exchange, right? Whereas if you have no sense of self and you decide that you want to be in this power exchange, this is what's happening. This is you. You're the empty cup. And you're just being poured into and poured into and poured into and poured into and poured into. And sometimes what's being poured in isn't going to be great. It's going to be rotten. It's going to be sour. It's going to be spoiled. This is why I stress the importance of mental and spiritual hygiene when you are exploring the lifestyle or in the lifestyle already. You need to have a strong foundation in order to have any sense of boundaries or sense of self or sense of self-mastery before you decide to go give your power away. And that does not only apply to S-types. D types can also get themselves into a situation where they don't have an actual sense of self. They only know that dominant character that they step into. And then they end up having no boundaries and no restraint. And they end up doing bad things. Just a thought for this week. I hope you have been drinking your water. I hope that you have been eating meals, not just snacks, not just sweets, not just coffee and energy drinks. That does not count. And I hope that you have been trying to get sleep. The first virtual Exploring Our Depths workshop went very well, beautifully. We had a very small crowd, very small group, but we made it cute. It was, I got really great feedback, and I hope to see more of you join me at some point. The workshop is really, you have nothing to be intimidated about. I know that meditation and some of this new age stuff sometimes seems really unnecessary, or how can you think about it when whatever. But I guarantee you, with a little bit more spiritual hygiene in your routine, especially in this lifestyle, things are going to look so much better. You'll be able to explore yourself better, explore sensuality, pleasure better, with less stress. And I'm not one for toxic positivity, so I'm never going to tell you that this is just going to solve all your problems or heal all of your shit. But I can say that it does help. I'll talk to you next week, and remember that you're not broken, just a little bent.